When do they stop tuning their instruments and play the music?
That is the music.
Good morning. You like what you heard? That's a Jrock Anime Opening instrumental, and I made it without using any live guitars. Oh, what's that I hear? You want to know how to do that too? Oh, but of course. Let me show you exactly how. Man, who wrote the script? I made a video a while ago on this exact topic, but it just wasn't that good, and there are a lot of things I could have done better. So here I am again, revisiting the art of making a Jrock Anime Opening song or instrumental. I'm going to divide this video up into sections as I always do, to discuss the different elements and concepts of the song. And these elements are the following elements which I've color-coded for your convenience. When I made this, I kept simplicity in mind, so for those of you ready to tell me in the comments, "Oh, this chord progression is too basic, oh, this is not complex enough." I know, I get it. I don't fully know music theory and I'm no expert, but I do know enough to show you how it's done at a basic level, at least in my way. So no more of my yapping, let's get started. At the base of every song or track there are chords, and at the base of every Jrock, anime, or most Japanese music in general, there are 3 chords in particular which are used all the time, the 4, 5, 6. I explain this in like every video essay I do, so I'll explain it again as simply as I can. The 4th, 5th, and 6th chords in your scale are almost always used in Japanese music, especially Jrock and anime openings, and it doesn't have to be that exact progression, but the entire progression will generally center around these 3 chords. Now for my beat, I used a 16-bar chord progression, and here it is. Notice how the second half of the chord progression gets all dramatic and has so much tension. Reminds me of my wife. I just turned 18, I don't even have a wife. But anyways, I did 3 things here. First, I moved the note off key in the 3rd chord, and I used the chord completely off key. What I did there was I created some dissonance to add more tension and drama to the progression, and then I resolved it with the ascending 1, 2, 3, 4 chords. Which you'll also hear a lot in Jrock and anime openings. Now that I'm done with the nerdy chord stuff, let's look at the chord layers, shall we? As you heard in the intro, I went for a very ambient vibe with this beat, so I used a clean electric guitar, a strummed guitar with chopped up notes, and a reverbed soft piano. And they all follow the same chord progression. Here's how they sound all together. This chord progression is going to be used everywhere in the track, but we're going to use them a little differently with the electric guitars. You hear that? That's an electric guitar. And you can't make Jrock or anime openings without them. And so let me show you the one plugin where I get all my electric guitar sounds from. The legendary Shreddish 3 Stratus by Impact Frameworks for the Contact Library. I'm not even sponsoring them or anything, but it is nigh on impossible for me to make a good anime opening without the electric guitar sounds I'm able to produce and work with thanks to this plugin, with so many controls and modulations to emulate a real live electric guitar. Opening my channel rack, all you see is contact, and it's all just this one plugin. Thank you, Impact Frameworks, for making this plugin, and especially thank you for making it free of all things. Link to it in the description. But anyways, enough of me glazing this plugin. Let's actually start talking about these electric guitars. There are a couple of patterns I made with the electric guitars, and they all follow the same chord progression I mentioned earlier, but in a unique way. Let me introduce to you a concept known as the power chord, which is done by taking the root note, the fifth, and a root note an octave higher to make this special chord. This is generally the chord you want to use on electric guitars, and there's no need to use any music theory or complex chords either. So these electric guitars will follow the same progression, just using power chords instead of normal chords. Now that the nerdy chord stuff is out of the way, let's look at these electric guitar patterns. Here, I have a guitar playing the full progression, pan to the left. Here's another guitar playing the full progression, pan to the right. And this gives us a nice wide sound when we play them together. Now here's another guitar playing the same progression, but its articulation is mute, which just means it's playing the notes but silencing the vibration of it, as it would if it was being played on an actual guitar, and it's chopped up into eighths. No, not those type of eighths. I'm making a YouTube video, I'm talking about music. Jesus, man, can't have shit in Detroit, man. Alright, anyways, here it is. This will be played along with the left and right guitars to add extra harmonics to enhance the overall sound, just like this. And now here's another guitar using mutes, and this one will be used differently. I'll explain how in the arrangement section of this video. Now we've got the chords and the electric guitars, but we're not really done here. We need some melodies up in here. If we think about Jrock or anime openings as cakes, yo, not that type of cake.
Huh?
Yes, that type of cake, thank you. We have the chords and electric guitars as the bread and layers, but where's the icing and decoration? That's where the melodies come in, the direction needed to lead the cake, or in this case, our anime opening. I tend to use the term melodies interchangeably a lot, so for this case, I define them as the leading sounds that you hear above everything else. Let me just show you what I mean. Here's the electric guitar lead I use for the best parts of the beat. And now here it is along with the other electric guitars. Notice how it guides the direction of where the guitars are going. That's the general idea of these elements. Now here are the other melody elements I made, with my favorite of them all being this clean electric guitar melody. It just sounds so nice. And here's a bell synth melody which also plays during the best parts of the song, which follow along the lines of the same melody pattern as the guitar solo as a nice complement to it. And here's a very subtle sine lead melody which just follows the root notes of the chords. Without the melodies, you'll still have your chords and guitar chords to support you, but it just won't be enough, just like me with my why. Let's move on to our next element, the bass. The bass in a song is the hardest thing to hear, yet one of the more powerful elements in it. The bass patterns you make in here generally follow the root notes of the chords. Interestingly enough, in Jrock Anime Openings, the bass is generally a bass guitar and acts kinda like a secondary melody element while still following the root notes of the chords. This is because the bass patterns tend to get very groovy, with lots of movement and syncopation in its notes. For my beat, I made 2 bass patterns using the same bass guitar, one with groove and one with more groove, which will make sense when I talk about the arrangement later on. Here's the groovy bass pattern. And here's the even groovier bass pattern. Funny enough, the bass pattern with more groove is simply just notes every offbeat being thrown up an octave higher than the notes on beat. Moral of the story? If you want groove in your bass, just throw some notes up an octave like you just graduated high school again and you're throwing up that graduation cap. Whee! Alright, let's talk about the boom. Alright, I don't think I need to explain myself for this one. It's drums. Jrock anime openings are basically rock songs, so it follows a rock drum pattern. It's simple really. Kick snare, something special at the end, along with your crashes, open hats, toms, and rides to support that. It's very simple, as I said. No need to overcomplicate the drums by making multiple drum patterns and whatnot. We're almost done now. Let's transition to the transitions and effects now, shall we? Transitions and effects can be seen as the sprinkles on an ice cream cone, the cherry on top of the cake, the little umbrella and lime in your cocktail drink. You can have a fully formed track made and it'll sound nice, but we don't want it to sound just nice, we want it to sound perfect. We'll put in some sweeps and effects here and there to help the beat flow more smoothly, and here's how it'll mostly sound like. Okay, so now that we have everything we need, let's put these things together and form the arrangement. Imagine you're at an amusement park and you're there to have fun, obviously. You get on the roller coaster, the big bad boy of the park, and then you're slowly going up and up and up and up and up and then down and all around, and then you slow down. And then you start to go up and up and up and up and up. You get the point, right? That's what we want to do with our arrangement. It's about controlling and maintaining a structure for the energy of our song. Sprite. When making a Jrock anime opening, there's a certain song structure that tends to be used a lot, which I followed along with for this beat and pretty much all my Jrock anime opening beats, to be honest. So first we have the intro chorus, then we have the intro, then we have verse 1 and or pre-chorus, then we have the chorus, then we have the bridge, then we have the verse 2 and or pre-chorus, then we have the chorus again, and then we have the end. Taking a look at our intro chorus, we have a small bit of the chorus that plays to start off the beat with high energy and showcase what this beat is going to be about. Next we have our intro, which quickly drops the energy from the intro chorus to a low and gives a fresh start to the beat. Next is the verse, which will slowly add some drums and those electric guitar mutes I mentioned as a way to build up some energy for the beat. The chorus is where you let out all the built up energy. It's the best part of the beat. Now the bridge here is something special. You want to go away from the beat for a second and have the energy at its lowest during this part. The second verse or pre-chorus does the same thing as the first, builds up the energy for the chorus again, but in a different way due to the bridge. Then you play the chorus again, copy and paste. You could also change up a few things here and there for some variation if you'd like. For the end, you want to drop the energy one last time, and I did that by simply copy-pasting the intro. It's simple, but it works. And that's the arrangement. You can get creative with what you do in your own track so long as you follow the same energy pattern and structure. And just like that, we're at the end of our journey. Wasn't that wonderful?
It sure wasn't for me.
Nah, I'm kidding. I had fun. And hopefully you did as well. Let's go ahead and play the full beat now that we're here. To keep listening now, don't you? Before I let you do that, let me just drop a friendly reminder that there is a subscribe button on and under this video, as well as a like button too. And another friendly reminder that I have an Instagram. You can do what you will with that information. And here's the full beat. You can click the link on the screen or in the description of the video. Goodbye now, viewer. I hope to see you again sometime soon.